We all have seen zombie movies where there is a disease outbreak that turns most of the population into mindless flesh-eating monsters, and it is concluded that mad cow disease is responsible for the mess. But is it scientifically accurate though? Mad cow disease, also known as bovine spongiform encephalopathy, or BSE for short, is a progressive neurological disease caused by prions that are exclusively present in cattle or cows. The bovine in the name refers to cattle, while spongiform is describing the cattle's brain condition after contracting the disease, which becomes spongy in texture. Encephalopathy is any disorder that damages the brain. First, to understand the disease, we need to know what are prions and their part in infecting other organisms, and for this example, cattle. Prions are a type of protein that is capable of causing diseases to animals and humans. They work differently compared to bacteria and virus, as they contain no genetic material. They are just mere proteins that are folded by shape. They do this by triggering a folding reaction towards the normal proteins in the brain or neural tissue in such an abnormal way that it causes the proteins to turn pathogenic and lose their function over time as the reaction slowly spreads over to the nearby proteins until all of it is fully infected by prion proteins. The US Food and Drug Administration, or the FDA, have made a general conclusion that this disease was first present in the United Kingdom when farmers decided to feed their farm animals with animal feed containing the proteins of other mammals. The symptoms for when a cow has BSE is when it is acting in a nervous or agitated and violent manner, hence the name, mad cow disease. While there is no real way of confirming whether the cow has BSE or not when it is alive, but if it does, its health will slowly deteriorate within a year and will finally die. Only upon death can the cow be officially diagnosed with having BSE, as their brain is thoroughly inspected under a microscope to find that it has spongy textures fitting with the spongiform part of the name. According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, this disease has similar symptoms to another human prion disease called variant Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, or VCJD for short, as it is identified that the same prion is responsible for both of these disease outbreaks. Humans may get infected with the disease if they consume the contaminated nervous tissue of bovine. Some extreme symptoms include dementia and psychotic behavior. So maybe the zombie movies were not as far-fetched as we think they are after all. Who knows? As for now, many countries have taken precaution towards preventing an outbreak of this disease by means of surveillance, euthanization of cattle with symptoms akin to BSE, and prohibiting the use of cattle feed containing mammal proteins in fear of its risks. To this date, there is no cure for BSE, and once the cattle is infected, it will inevitably die from the disease in more or less a year after contracting the disease. So, RIP. In conclusion, there might be some truth to these famous zombie movies, but as for now, there has not been any cases of cows and humans cannibalizing each other due to a disease outbreak, but who actually knows, right? Mad cow disease is for some parts still not fully understood due to the real nature of the ever mysterious prions, and maybe in the future, scientists may gather enough information to possibly find a cure to this fatal disease. Thank you for watching.